TCI Channel 63 presents the TCI Sports High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Tonight, it's the Clarenceville Trojans taking on the Lutheran Northwest Crusaders. Hello, everyone. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson here at Lutheran Northwest. And Joe, two teams with identical records, and they match up pretty well.
I'm going to say height-wise and everything they match up, and record-wise, as you said, 5-5 overall for both teams, 2-3 in the Metro Conference overall for both teams. Should be a pretty close matchup. Clarenceville might have a little edge in the quickness, but counter that for Lutheran Northwest with the home court advantage.
Okay, and we're ready for the tip-off of tonight's game right after these messages. Stay with us.
McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video. Saturday night at 9 on Channel 63.
The TCI Sports Game of the Week this week here at Lutheran Northwest High School in Rochester Hills. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson to bring you the play-by-play here. Joe, two teams with identical records in the conference, 2-3 and 5-5 overall.
Yeah, and Clarenceville with a new head coach today. Rick Larson, who had been their assistant all year, taking over for Rob White, who left because he got a better job in Cincinnati and had to take it. So Rick's filled in before, but this is his first game as the official head coach. There you see him. And Lutheran Northwest coming off a big come-from-behind victory over Cranbrook on Saturday, where they had trailed by, I believe, 16 or 17 points. And you see Tim Lockhead, who said, you know, they're going to have a four-quarter effort. That's been a problem this year. They've done well for 3 quarters, and then they wear out a little bit. And, you know, this year, or this game, so they cannot afford to play 3 quarters. This opponent is too good and too fast.
And both teams, in talking to both coaches, both teams have said it depends what team shows up. So they have a tendency to play sometimes to the caliber of their opponents. And here we have our starting lineups. Collage, Sparks, Steve Parks, Barry, Kaljovic, and Kalovic, the starters for Clarenceville. For Lutheran Northwest, McKinnon, Blom, Hogger, Storm, and Harrison. And they match up pretty good on the size for both teams, so it should be a very good contest as we look at the records and the teams and the crowd tonight here, along with our cameramen, or camera persons, I should say, to be fair. I think Renee is hiding behind the barrier there. There she is, and Mark Cuddy up there, and the fans sitting next to our statistician, Kelvin Calhoun. And we are about to get this one underway here at Lutheran Northwest High School. And we started, and Clarenceville comes up with it. Baseline drive, and good for number 33, Collage, John Collage, the guard.
That's one of the guys that Northwest has to contain somewhat. He tends to get up near the 30-point range.
Collage, good size for a guard, and a definite mismatch out there when he took that baseline drive.
Yeah, it's 6'2", but you know, at most schools that is just a guard. You know, at the smaller schools that is usually a forward, but you can take advantage of the size difference by putting him at guard.
Here comes Northwest, and a baseline drive here of their own, and a foul call.
Yeah, it looked like number 25, Barry, got called for the block. He looked kind of clean here, but, well, I guess there was a foul.
Justin Storm.
Got him from behind and get him 2 free throws.
And it'll be Storm going to the line. And he makes the first. Storm misses, and Clarenceville comes down with it. And it's a 2-1 game. in the early goings here at Lutheran Northwest. Back out up top. It's Kaljevic. Kaljevic looks for help off to Steve Parks. Parks, cross court, nobody there. It was behind Mark Berry, and I don't know if Berry was looking for the pass on that one.
Yeah, I don't think he expected to see it. He was cutting and he had the lane open. So the pass was made to the open man, but he definitely wasn't expecting it. He thought he was going across court, and consequently it was a turnover.
And speaking of turnovers, here's one. Pat McKinnon tried to pass one inside, and that was knocked away. Here comes Clarenceville on the run now. Steve Park up. Just a little too hard, but look at that. Collage with his second from the floor tonight, and all 4 points going to him.
He's the guy, again, one of probably the #1 guy to stop. I know that their defense is in fact built around basically stopping him.
There you see Jeremy Harrison. And now inbounding again, and a good effort there that time by Matt Blom for Lutheran Northwest. Clarenceville now being pressured now on bringing the ball up, and it pays off for Northwest. Blom takes it in for the 2-0. Won't go, and here comes Clarenceville on the run. Steve Parks on the fast break for 2.
Right now, both teams playing a little sloppy as far as getting the ball rotated well. And in that case, it just led to an easy fast break basket from the defensive standpoint. But neither offense has really been able to get that.
Northwest finally going inside with it and couldn't hit there. Justin Storm missed that one. And it's still 6-1. Northwest yet to really set up effectively offensively. They've had trouble on the offensive side. Clarenceville, open man, knocked away that time, and the foul on Blom.
Kaljevic picked up basically a loose ball. The pass, he had a little trouble getting there, but it kind of created some confusion. And like I say, both offenses are just struggling as far as getting their offenses really in sync. Nothing's been real crispy.
And the first substitution of the game brings in number 32 for Clarenceville, and that is Chris Smith. So from the line, Kaljevic hits his first. And he hits them both.
So far, Rick Larson's coaching debut is going pretty well.
So far, he's up by 7, 8-1 in the early going here. Another turnover, and Clarenceville comes up. And they are just working the ball inside, and it's worked for them. That time, Mark Berry. So they're spreading it out now. And 4 starters have scored on the board for the Trojans.
That was John Collage, though, made a great pass right underneath, saw him wide open, and set that basket up.
On the other end now, Northwest will go to the line, and it's Justin Storm again. Let's take a look.
They just went with a little fake and a jab, and then passed it underneath, or they could have called it on either guy, and I think they called it on the guy in the front. He gets hit twice, and usually they'll call it on, would have been 23, Kaljevic coming from behind and hitting him, but instead, called it the other way, it gets him to the line, and once again, they split the pair, and still just, it's a 10-2 game, and the offense for Northwest just hasn't gotten going at all.
All the points coming from the free throw line for Northwest so far. Inside, good work by Clarenceville, and they're putting it right back up is number 23, Kaljevic. Mark Kaljevic.
And Kaljevic at 6'3", one of the taller guys on the floor for Clarenceville.
And that time, John Hogger gets the first field goal for Lutheran Northwest, and stepping out of bounds that time was Collage. John Collage stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, followed his own
Coming down
shot.
with it.
Yeah, there's not, it's just nothing much he could do about that. Just good hustle, really, to follow his own shot like that.
Northwest trying to get it past half court. They do. And look at this. Had a wide open lane. Decides to pass off. And getting two is Justin Storm. His first bucket other than the free throw line. And it's 12-6. And the steal. Jeremy Harrison puts two down. And the Crusaders are putting on a crusade to get back in the game right here.
And Harrison's going to have to lead the crusade for them to get back. He's probably their best player. And right there, they did what Coach Law had said before the game they needed to do, which was get fast break points.
And the timeout called by Rick Larson as his team was up by 7, and now it's been cut down to 4. 12-8 the score. Let's go down to Tim Lawhead's huddle.
These guys you don't worry about. These guys down here got to communicate. Tell them what's up. And I don't want you two worrying about the ball. I want you worrying about them. They're still scoring. How can they score if I've told you not to even worry about the ball? You have to take it to them, not to the ball. They're getting the boards. That means you guys have got to communicate. Shot, shot, shot. Here we go now. Let's go.
Well, plain and simple, Tim Lawhead telling his team to just play basketball, really.
Yeah, play hard.
Yeah. Here we see number 23 on Clarenceville, Kaljovic with 4 points.
Yeah, Clarenceville with maybe a slight height advantage, not a lot, but anytime there is a height advantage, you got to make up for it with hustle and quickness, and that's basically what Northwest is trying to accomplish.
Baseline move, Kaljovic, he's hit down there. No foul call. It might have been his own player that he ran into.
Yeah, the ball went off the bottom of the backboard. He tried to force the shot. A lot of times the officials aren't going to give you that when you try to force something like that.
McKinnon passing off to Blom for 3. It's good. Matt Blom, number 24, gets a three-pointer, and it's a one-point game now. Three-pointer right back.
I said a minute ago it was 10-1, and Clarenceville's offense had stopped, and it came right back. That was Collage again. He made the big hoop. That's the guy you look for.
John Collage, the guard for the three-pointer, gets him back up to a lead, 15-11, and now a foul underneath. And the Crusaders are picking up a lot of fouls underneath.
Yeah, well, Kaljovic came over trying to get the block after they made the pass inside. Again, a little, not making those passes real good there, but Kaljovic came over and swatted it, and his hand came all the way from behind, and it's one of those calls you have to make.
Coming in now, Tim Carpenter, number 44 for Northwest. This one's good. As Blom hits, he hit the three-pointer, and now gets a chance to go to the line, add some more scoring here, and to pull it to 2. Doesn't get a chance to do that. 15-12 the score now with 3 minutes approaching the 3-minute mark. This is short. Rebound Carpenter. And here comes Northwest. From outside, no. Carpenter keeps it in, puts it up. And there with the follow-up is Justin Storm for another 2.
Yeah, basically a great team effort of rebounding there. Storm happened to be the guy with the last rebound in the putback, but that's the kind of effort that Northwest has to do every time.
That time, Clarenceville came back with 2 and Northwest nothing.
Yeah, they tried to fast break off the made basket, and the shot was there.
McKinnon, coast to coast. No, won't get it. Follow-up is good, though, by Jeremy Harrison. And now it's becoming a team effort for Northwest.
And it's the fast break that's led the way.
Clarenceville inside, the man is wide open. And that's Chris Smith putting down 2 off the bench. Little loss of control there for Jeremy Harrison. And a foul, and it goes for Collage. He'll go to the line and add another 2 for him.
I'll tell you, we're right right next to that basket that he scored at. And you could just see his eyes light up right about there at the free throw line. He knew he was going to the hole with it. And he sensed the contact, still got the shot to go. Now he's got a chance for a three-point play.
9 points here in this first quarter for John Collage. Number 33 for Clarenceville. Leads all scorers. And it's a 21-16 game with Clarenceville going to the line now to add to it.
Yeah, I think Northwest wanted a timeout just to get this, get the momentum back that they had gained.
Go to the other side. They didn't call the timeout, but let's go see what head coach Rick Larson has to say.
If you're down there screening, roll, okay? Because the guys down in the bottom triangle are not rolling with you, okay? Because they're fixing their position. So just roll inside and get your hand up so we can get it down into you, okay? Guys, take care of the ball. Let's go.
Next week, college basketball on the game of the week when Wayne State takes on Oakland University at Oakland University, and that should be a great contest with Ron Hammy and Greg Campy going at it, two former teammates.
Both teams ranked in the top 20 in Division II nationwide, and Wayne State, your alma mater.
My alma mater.
Beat my alma mater this year. Of course, everybody beats University of Detroit, but Division IIs aren't supposed to do that.
Collage hits and makes it 22-16 now in the final 2 minutes here.
We stress academics at your
That's right. Clarenceville there to block it again, and Northwest takes it back out to set up. The pressure put on Jeremy Harrison. They've got to stop forcing it inside. They're just getting hammered in there. This is a little too long, and here comes Northwest. Ball's going to go out of bounds. And
that should be Northwest ball. But really a good job by Clarenceville just denying them the fast break. Most of their good baskets have come on the fast break, and even the few times they have made baskets off the passes inside, it's just been because a sloppy pass happened to deflect into one of their own players. Haven't been able to get the offense going.
Here come the Crusaders again. Carpenter inside. And the Trojans have had a field day inside just blocking shots.
Yeah,
Barry got the mismatch underneath.
Yeah, Barry blocked it and knocked it off his leg to get the possession of the ball as well.
Baseline now, nothing there for Barry. They push it back out. Wide open, they get it for three. No. Carpenter, no, correction. That's Auger with the rebound, 43.
Another
Clarenceville anticipating his passes and coming up with the steals. Baseline. Back out. This will be for two. No. Rebound strong by Barry. Puts it back in.
Oh, Barry at 6'6", the tallest guy on the floor for either team.
And he had no trouble getting that one. From outside. Won't go. Rebound. And now Blom passing inside. Basket won't count. Foul already called, so Hogger won't get the chance to get the two. Here's Blom as he passes off to Hogger.
That's one of the few times that the pass it has been clean and crisp, and what do they get for it? They get a foul before the shot.
Yeah.
Which is better than a turnover, but
they get a chance to inbound now. Blom from outside, too long. Inside, Hogger gets the rebound, puts it in for his fourth point. 24-18 now.
Yeah, now if they can just keep it at a 6-point deficit at the end of the quarter. Oh, well,
this is it. 5 seconds left, and they get a chance to put the final two up. No, for three, and that'll do it. But the score at the end of one quarter of play, 24-18, and Tim Lawhead's team coming back into this one.
Yeah, kind of fitting that that quarter ended with a turnover. And what I was about to say was, just don't let it get back up to 8. They cut it to 1, but they had been down by 10 at some points in the quarter. 6-point deficit is no big deal. It's basically an even game right now.
Let's go down to Tim Lawhead.
The board, somebody, one of the two post players, you got to box out the big guy. You're getting the guys to shoot that you want to shoot right now. But you're not getting the boards when you stop them. So you got to box out the big guy, otherwise he's going to get that quick little lay-in every time.
Another hand trim.
All right?
Let's go.
Come on now, gentlemen. Let's go.
Another hand trim.
1, 2, 3. Let's go, Red.
Don't forget to tune in to the Master Angler Show, where the Master Angler features the latest in fishing tips and techniques for hot Michigan fishing action. Catch the Master Angler Show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 63.
Anyone who saw our last game got a great view of the Master Angler.
Yeah,
At his best.
he showed up, and he occasionally does show up in the most unusual places.
I wonder where he'll be tonight.
Underneath, inside, Northwest having trouble getting those inside shots.
And Coach had just told them about boxing out. They didn't do it there.
From the far side, and there's another two for John Collage.
You know, when the other team's got a 6'6" guy and you don't have anyone that matches up quite with his height, you've got to box out. Otherwise, it's going to be easy all day for him to get putbacks. And that's what Barry's been able to do. To box out, he's going to have to go over your head to get the rebounds, and he's going to get some fouls.
Well, a good pass by Jeremy Harrison, but nobody was there to get it. And the turnover for Northwest. Watch, here it is. Harrison gets the rebound, but nobody cutting across.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice and all that, but it's not a good play.
Trojans can't hit. Here come the Crusaders now. Blom back across to McKinnon, inside to Hogg. Hogg gets hit from behind, but puts it down. Or Hogger, excuse me.
Yeah, well, Barry tried to reach out and block it. Showed some good basketball sense and not forcing that block shot. There would have been a foul called. And, you know, it's only 2 points, but, you know, good execution by Northwest on getting that play.
In the key, won't go for the Trojans, and they get the rebound, though. Barry, cross-court pass to Kaljovic. Kaljovic now being triple-teamed, trying to get it off. And guess what? The Trojans will get it back as it goes off the arm of McKinnon.
Got a break. McKinnon happened to just slap at it. Kaljovic was on the verge of traveling, so he just flung the ball wherever he could. You'll see him go down low.
Here he leans back,
right
and
here.
He's falling.
And he's about to travel right here as he gets triple teamed. And unfortunately for Lutheran Northwest, Clarenceville maintains possession and comes up with the hoop.
And Kaljovic comes right back to put another two down. 28-20 the score. Here's Blom, has the open lane, puts it up a little too strong. Rebound by Hogger, no, won't go, and who got it? All right, there he is, Justin Storm.
Yeah, the PA announcer doesn't know either. There was a case, though, of Northwest keeping at the boards, and they kept tapping it up until somebody finally got it. And once again, now on the defensive end, they come up with the rebound.
Blom gets fouled down there by number 34. That's George Jokai, who is in there now. There's Jokai on the shot.
Right here you see Northwest come up with the loose ball rebound and
There's
a
the
reach-in
foul there.
foul.
Northwest inbounding. And quickly gets the ball across the half-court line for that pass. McKinnon in the corner, another stolen ball. A lot of turnovers in this game. And McKinnon making sure that the Trojans don't get to it. He cut off Steve Parks.
I was going to say, that's a very smart move there. He wasn't going for the ball, but he just made sure that Parks couldn't try and make a save on that play. And nothing that really could have been done by Parks except commit a foul.
There's Hogger now inside. Good pass. Head fake and putting it down. Jeremy Harrison.
Well,
that's his 6th point.
Those passes that weren't working in the first quarter are working in the second.
So they continue to go inside, and it works. And there's an offensive foul.
Yeah, Harrison took the charge. And right now, Clarenceville just isn't in sync at all.
Yeah.
And you see right there, 23, Kaljovic, who has been one of their top players, trying to force his way inside. And you really can't blame him because they've been able to do that so far at will.
Chance to pull to within 2, 28-24. Harrison in trouble, back out to McKinnon. Now Harrison inside to Carpenter, and he loses it. Still Northwest ball.
you know, for the amount of passes that have been going inside and the amount of slapping going around, there really haven't been that many fouls called. You know, you'd think, you know, except for a couple of jump shots like that there, everything has been in the key that there'd be, you know, 10, 15, 20 fouls.
Oh, there, a little rough play and getting that ball, loose ball.
What do we call that? Nothing
there. McKinnon inside, puts it down. That's Pat McKinnon's first 2 points of the game, and they're big ones. 28-26 now. Here come the Trojans, setting it up, taking their time. Move off the glass, it just wouldn't roll for him.
And there we see Northwest boxing out like Coach Law had told them at the end of the quarter, and they are coming up with the rebounds.
From outside, bad angle, won't go. Rebound, strong by Barry, and he gets it up ahead to Kalaj. Kalaj is a man open, and they get the 2. Kaljovic from Kalaj.
Just a basic alley-oop.
They really show you something, that combination.
Yeah.
That's some good basketball ability there. Good size.
And they are the 2 guys. You know, Northwest has been in a triangle and 2 most of the night. The 2 have been those guys that they've been going man-to-man with.
Carpenter a little awkward, but he's just bullying his way through there like a fullback. And finally a whistle down there. Let's take a look at the fullback in action here, plowing people over.
Hey.
That was 1, and then he follows up here. Really? Comes around, and now he'll just take a few other bodies with him.
Yeah, you could have called a travel a couple times on him, probably.
But he'll go to the line. Tim Carpenter, and now buzzing in. And checking in would be Pete Kalovic. And heading out is number 32, Chris Smith, who came in off the bench.
Hey, when you get a guy like that, Carpenter, that plays that way, it is tough for the opponent if he can make the plays work, because there's no way in practice you prepare for that. You know, a guy just going like a bull through the key and, you know, basically in an unorganized fashion trying to force up layups. And it will create some fouls, and if he can convert them into free throws, it's good for his team.
Well, he made 1 and cuts the lead to 3, 30-27. Back out, in and out for Steve Parks, wouldn't go for him, and now a whistle underneath.
Yeah, well, Carpenter that time grabbed his arm and pulled it away, preventing Parks from getting the rebound.
Let's take a look underneath.
Right here you see him trying to throw up a little floater. Those 8-foot shots are not the easiest in the world to make. And right about here you'll see him grab his arm, and you almost saw him grab his arm at the foul play.
Berry inside, Mark Berry for 2, his first 2 here in the second quarter. Jeremy Harrison now driving, and we've got a foul in there, and the foul is on John Kalaj, number 33.
Yeah, but give Carpenter the credit for that play. He's starting to do a little Bill Lambier out there. He's causing a little trouble. He's throwing, setting some picks that are a little rough, and he's flopping.
Yeah, he didn't
right
move.
There,
he did
flopped.
a good job.
Yeah,
he didn't move.
He got run into and just landed.
Yeah.
And the refs called that right away. And yeah, I mean, there was nothing illegal about what he did, but the way he flopped definitely guaranteed him a trip to the free throw line.
And now if Carpenter can keep hitting these free throws, the Crusaders are in business here.
And this is the kind of guy coaches love to have, because he just...
hit them both. No, on the line, won't count. That would have been a big one there to cut it 32-29 instead. 32-28 now.
Yeah, but, again, he's just doing all those little things. They always talk about it, becomes almost a cliche, but you can mentally play with the opponents a little bit.
Trojans now to set up. Back out up top. And you can hear the Crusader call 3 seconds. Somebody wanted a 3-second call. This shot was too long. Carpenter gets it. And now Harrison will bring it up.
Clarenceville's been close to 3 seconds several times.
Inside, a hogger for 2. That time they go inside, it works.
Yeah, like we said a couple minutes ago, the second quarter those passes are working. In the first quarter, those passes were turnovers almost every time down the floor.
In the corner, Mark Berry. Back out up top to Parks. Parks now, open momentarily, but decides to pass up top. Kaljovic back to Parks. Parks puts it up, won't go. Rebound Carpenter. Boy, that size of Carpenter is coming in handy for the Crusaders.
Yeah, he's made such a difference since he's been in the game.
Harrison, no.
And
Carpenter there, look at this.
Carpenter tipped it to him.
Yep, Greenwald hits for 2. Michael Greenwald.
And it's Carpenter's presence, just his size, 255. It's a football body that he doesn't have the height to go up, you see with the tie game. He doesn't have the height to match up with Barry, but his weight is more than compensating for it, pushing him out of the way a lot.
First time it's been tied since the opening tip-off at 0-0. From outside for 2. There's Kaljevic.
And that tie does not last long.
Kaljevic with 12 points now here in the first half.
But again, you have to remember this, at one point it was 10-1 Clarenceville. And really Northwest has, since then, obviously been the better team.
I think the players are starting to settle into their roles now. Ball knocked away off of the Trojans, and some substitutions coming in now for both teams.
Yeah, that was one of those forced passes. That time, though, it went off of a Clarenceville player.
Justin Storm checks back in. There is John Hauger going off, and checking in for Clarenceville, number 21, Bryce Lee. Ball goes out of bounds, and again, Northwest to inbound.
Bryce Lee listed at 5'7".
That's questionable, huh?
Yeah.
Turnaround. Greenwald couldn't hit. Up ahead, Barry, and oh no.
Well,
Harrison came down strong on Collage.
yeah. Let's see, they called a foul here, I believe.
Let's take a look. Oh,
Really, it's incidental contact going for the ball. Unfortunately, both guys kind of banged up their ankles a little bit, and I think Collage is going to have to come out of the game. And yeah, one official handed the ball for the inbound,
Yeah.
and at the other end of the floor, Collage is barely able to limp off the floor.
that's a shame.
That's just one of those fluky plays.
Well, you get the leading scorer now off the floor. Things look a little different for your
Yeah.
team. That is just a shame.
Like I said, Harrison just went up trying to knock the ball away, and actually did, just like a good defensive back basically, and landed on his ankle. The refs did call a foul on Harrison for that play, so Clarenceville does maintain possession, but at what a price to pay.
Yeah. John Collage, one of the key players on this team, leading scorer in this game, and he is out now for the Trojans. They have to make up for it. Nothing there. Strong rebound, Carpenter to Harrison. Harrison will push it up court himself as he was double teamed. Cross court. Greenwald from outside, and a foul call. The foul on number 24, Pete Kaljevic.
I think he called the foul after the shot was let go. As the ref said, he's signaling 1-1. So it's not going to be a 2-shot foul. Here you see Harrison leading the fast break going across court. Now the shot's released, and they didn't give him any continuation. They said that's not a shooting call.
Nope. Greenwald misses.
Works anyway.
They come right back.
Yeah, Storm with the putback. And once again, the score's tied.
34-34, 26 seconds and counting down to half. Basket is good. And getting that one.
Yeah, the whistle was a goaltend just because a Northwest player had grabbed the net and yanked on the rim. But basket went anyway.
George Jokai on the basket, number 34. Two-point game, 10 seconds counting down now. And Northwest with the last shot, they want to at least tie it up, maybe go for a 3. Harrison drives down the lane for 2 right at the buzzer.
Great job by Harrison.
Jeremy Harrison ties it up.
Oh boy, it looked like they were waiting a little too long, and then he just drove the middle of the lane. Haven't been able to do that untouched all day. Got off a relatively easy shot, but what a great effort to hook it and bank it.
Great
to
move
go right
around
there.
everybody and off the middle of that square and right in at the buzzer. I mean, you couldn't have timed it any better.
Oh yeah, and after the first two and a half minutes of this game, if you'd have told us it'd be a tie at halftime, never believed it.
Never believe it, but hey, you've got identical records. Both teams coming in 5-5, 2-3 in the conference, and all tied up at halftime, just like you'd figured, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back with the tip-off of second half action right after these messages. Stay with us.
Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63. If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.
All tied up at halftime here at Lutheran Northwest High School. The Clarenceville Trojans 36, Lutheran Northwest 36. And Joe, before we even started the game, we said, oh, this should be a pretty good game. Both teams with 5-5 records. Both teams with 2-3 records coming into the conference. And, it's turned out that way.
Yeah, you look really, percentage-wise, Clarenceville has a little bit of an edge. As you see, but the number of field goals is really close. Free throws, Lutheran Northwest getting to the line more, mainly because they're going inside more.
Right.
Clarenceville making all the free throws. Rebounds, Lutheran Northwest, we heard at the end of the first quarter, you got to box out more, and that's what they did, and they have the rebound advantage. The turnovers, most of those for both teams came in the first quarter when it was real sloppy.
And for your halftime enjoyment, we had some fun down here. Here's one of the guys doing, I think it was Louie Louie or something like that down there, and swaying to the music. Now there he is. There's our star. And people were really impressed with him, so they wanted to learn what his dance was. So now he's got a student out there, and she's getting the hang of it. There you go.
Oh, there's big money to be made in that.
That's right. Halftime lessons on how to dance, and see, there you spin your partner. Now do-si-do. And there he is. There's our, and if you want to come back here next week and get some lessons,
right.
He'll be here.
That's the always hustling camera crew there getting those shots.
That's right.
Played.
Stuff that normal camera crews would not get or would not even bother with.
Not even look at, really.
Yeah. And we're back underway here in the second half, working inside. The Trojans pick up 2 from Mark Berry.
Yeah, they just had him go down low and take advantage of the height that he has. And really, right now, while Carpenter's not in the lineup for Northwest, there isn't anyone there to really bang him around.
But neither is John Collage, who is out with an injury. He's got his foot in a bucket of ice right now.
And we just saw Northwest start the third quarter like they started the first quarter, with turning the ball over, trying to force it inside.
So the Trojans come back again and will try to build up a lead again, which they had quite a bit of in the first half. The ball knocked away by the Crusaders. They take it down. McKinnon passing back out to Harrison. Harrison baseline now. Off the mark. Back out up top. Pat McKinnon inside. Blom inside to Hogger. Hogger couldn't get it to go down, and it was Berry with the rebound.
Good move by Hogger, just wasn't able to get the shot to go.
In the corner, having trouble with it, is number 10, Barnhart, Scott Barnhart. In there now. Trojans baseline move, and good. Pete Kalovic. Kalovic with his first 2 points of the game.
That's kind of an upset.
Yeah. And it's a 4-point lead right now for Clarenceville. Back out, Blom. Cross court to Harrison. Harrison outside, it's short. Harrison rebound, baseline move, has a man open down the lane, and he gets him.
It's a great job by Harrison. Followed his shot, took it underneath, drew the entire defense to him, realized he didn't have a shot, found the open man, got an easy layup.
And that was Justin Storm again. Storm with his first 2 points of the second half, and the first 2 points for the Crusaders. Crusaders will get it back.
Yeah, ball, Kalvik and Harrison struggling for it, went off Kalvik. And once again, Northwest with a chance to tie.
Harrison all the way, no, back out to McKinnon. McKinnon will set it up now. 5:33 and counting down here in the third quarter. Going to the hoop for Storm, and there's Hauger. What happened there?
Well,
do they count the two?
Yeah, they counted the basket, I think.
Yeah, he didn't throw it off. Let's take a look.
But I don't know what he called, and the scoreboard's wrong too, I think. Well, here's the putback. Well, let's see. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be 40.
It should be 40-40.
40. 40-40.
Yeah, they've got the score up wrong. Oh, there
we go.
They
now,
changed part of it.
Now they're getting the correction. Probably get the other side too.
Yeah.
No. It's 42-40.
Well, now they switched it back, and now it'll be 42-40. And I don't know why they sent Barry out of the game, unless, I don't know if there's a blood rule in high school sports. Maybe he was bleeding, because they sent him right to the locker room.
Yeah, could be. Kalvik scored the last two for the Trojans, rather.
Well, all of a sudden, you see the rebounding difference that Clarenceville on that miss didn't have anybody with any height to go after the rebound, and consequently committed a foul.
You see Barry is out.
Yeah, that evens up the height.
Yeah.
Almost to a standstill. And these are not the guys that are used to getting the rebounds for Clarenceville, and you can see they just weren't ready to do it.
Harrison now takes it coast to coast. Carpenter underneath, ball up for grabs. Still up for grabs. Harrison has got it. I didn't want to say he had it because he was still having trouble with it. McKinnon up top to set it up. Looks back to the right. For Harrison. Now Blom gives it to Harrison.
Had McKinnon open underneath, but had so much trouble forcing those balls inside. And there's gonna be a fight pretty soon, and that'll be the referee.
Yeah. A lot of shoving going on underneath.
Kalvik and Carpenter just killing each other underneath, and I guess Carpenter's gonna get the foul this time.
Pete Kalvik elbowing and shoving under there.
Take
with
our word for it.
Tim Carpenter. Carpenter's a big guy to move.
Both of them going at it. It's
Yeah.
one of those where the ref happened to see the one time Carpenter did it. Both of them were actually guilty.
This goes off the hands of Chris Smith, and a turnover for the Trojans. Here come the Crusaders now. McKinnon to set it up. McKinnon makes a move, goes back out. McKinnon slipped there, but a foul call here and a push. It looks like it's on number 22, Steve Parks, right there. Let's take a look at Parks guarding McKinnon.
Yeah, that was on the opposite side from us. You really couldn't see what happened, and I guess he got hit, and they're going to call that. And that's what forced him to the ground. Barry, by the way, has returned to the bench for Clarenceville, and
looks like he's got a bloody. I think he's got a bloody nose.
Yeah, so that must be why they sent him out.
Yeah.
I can't imagine an official stopping a game to send him out for that reason. Maybe a bloody lip.
Yeah, bloody lip. It's inside the mouth, and he's going to check back in.
Yeah, apparently there is a blood rule in high school.
Yep. Harrison for three outside, won't go. And here come the Trojans. All the way, number 23 that time, Kaljovic with his first 2 points.
Kick ball.
Kaljovic picking up his first 2 points of the second half.
And Barry is back in the lineup now.
And he provides that height that the Trojans need inside to kind of combat the size of Carpenter.
Yeah, now Carpenter didn't come in the second half until Barry left, but I thought we were going to finally see the matchup. But as Barry comes in, Carpenter goes out, so we're still not going to see the two of them go at it in the second half.
Alley-oop, Harrison has to keep it in bounds, and Barry comes up with it. Double dribble.
Yeah.
He had it, put it on the floor, held it, and put it on the floor again.
That's something you don't think, and a lot of times in the officials' judgment, they'll let that go. They'll say that it wasn't a dribble when you tried to gain possession of it. But that time, in the official's opinion, he did have clear possession and did double dribble.
Smart move there by Storm, just getting it off the leg of a Trojan. And
about a half second from a 3-second call there.
Now they get to set up again. It'll be Matt Blom to inbound. Looks for help. And that time, Storm had to keep it in. And
a lot of trouble with the inbound passes for Northwest.
And a turnover. Trojans turning it over.
The odd-numbered quarters tonight.
Yep.
Both teams.
Checking in is Mike Greenwald, number 31. And going out is Blom. Jeremy Harrison now, 35. He's a forward, but he has been like a guard tonight, really, holding that ball. Greenwald, who's put in 2 points tonight. Ball loose, Greenwald from the free throw line. Yes.
Boy, ball just popped into his hands, took about a 15-foot jump shot and got the shooter's roll.
And it's a 2-point game, 44-42. Just under 2:50 left in the third quarter. Back out, Chris Smith. Smith on the baseline with a tough shot. Won't go, and hey, look at this. Barry was going up with it, and right from behind, it was McKinnon, the guard, who took it away from him, but he got called for the foul. Let's take a look.
Make him earn it at the line. But here you see what Barry's presence means. He's able to come in and get the rebound. And McKinnon, a smart foul.
Yeah, he had all arm on that one.
That's only his first. And, well, he gets the first free throw to go, so might end up with the 2 points anyway, but it is always better to make him earn them.
Mark Barry now. This is that one. Rebound by Greenwald. 9 points for Barry as he missed that one. Greenwald going one direction, ball went the other, and he just couldn't stop his momentum. 3-point lead, 45-42 for the Trojans. Smith going across court. And now Barry, baseline move, back out, nobody there to get it. Yes, Smith has it. Barry now, inside. And for 2, that is Kaljevic. Kaljevic now, 4 points here in this second half. Had a total of 12 in the first.
And that time Barry just able to pull some defenders out with him and open up the layup underneath for Kaljevic.
All loose, and Storm couldn't get it to go down. He just happened to go under there, and he couldn't get it to go down.
And then Hogger committed the foul going for the rebound.
Let's see if that was Storm or McKinnon underneath. Ball knocked away. Yeah, it was Storm. And he just couldn't get it to fall.
I see right from behind, Hogger with the body gets the foul.
Trojans building up a lead now. If they can come up with another 2 here, it's been tough to come back. And there's Barry, Mark Barry with another 2. Puts him into double digits. Greenwald short on this one, loose ball. And taking it is Kaljevic. Kaljevic quickly up court to Kaljevic for 2.
And suddenly it's a 9-point lead, and you got to figure Northwest is going to call a timeout real soon, and, well, yeah, they do.
And they do, 51-42. The Trojans have built up a lead now over the Crusaders. It's been a close battle, but now the Trojans building up another lead. And time for the Crusaders to come back. Let's hear Tim Lawhead.
You're front and back. How did he get the ball that time in the post? Front and back. Also, this big man, if he's here, this man don't worry about the 2 guards. Only worry about the inside. So this man has got to get here and get a hand in his face. He can't just shoot all by himself. He can't be allowed to drive and penetrate. All right? Gentlemen, you got to get the boards and run a play. Come on, guys. Come on!
Tim Lawhead trying to get his team fired up here now. They have dropped
I think he's
down to 9 points here.
Obviously a little upset. Basically what you say about run a play, their offense is back to the ragtag stuff that they were doing in the first quarter that got them into the same kind of hole they're in now.
Crusaders to set it up. They're down by 9 now with 1:05 left here in the third quarter. Harrison hammered. I think they called the wrong guy. They called it on Smith, but watch clearly, it's on 23.
Let's see here.
Well, I guess not as clear. It could be anybody.
Yeah, 3 guys there.
I guess from our angle.
That's basically a case of Harrison trying to force something, make something happen. He's the offensive leader of this team. He averaged 22 points a game as a junior. And I think he realizes he's going to have to lead the way as far as scoring goes.
Harrison picks up his first point of the second half here, late, with less than a minute left here in the third quarter. Picks up his first point. That's 9 on the night for him. Gotta make it 10. So Jeremy Harrison cuts that lead now down to 7. They've got to come up with a big stop here. The defense has to come through for the Crusaders here if they want to get back in it and make something of it in the fourth quarter. Now the Trojans taking their time. I think this is the most time we've seen them take in setting up a shot.
And they may be playing for the last shot, although, like you just mentioned, that's not something we've seen at all tonight.
Nope.
So they're not playing for the last shot.
Kalovic. He's got 8 points on the night, all 8 coming here in the third quarter, and picked up the pace from John Kalash leading the game. Carpenter strong underneath, wouldn't get it, but the tip in for number 33, Justin Storm.
Storm came down kind of funny on his ankle, and he was limping going back.
Storm now with 14 points. From outside, it's off. Carpenter up ahead to Storm. Storm get it at the buzzer and couldn't do it. Couldn't reach the ball, and that'll do it. And we go into the fourth quarter now, and it's going to be interesting for the Crusaders. They've got to battle back. Down by 7. Let's go down to Rick Larson and the Clarenceville Trojans.
We have to get the ball at the point, working into Scott. Scott rotated back and forth, and then we're going to get into the Pete. The Pete is going to work, okay? You've got to get it rolling. You start low on the baseline, and then come up and set an upswing, okay? And let Pete penetrate around. Then roll. Don't forget the ball. Sometimes big guy roll like this because it's coming over the top.
Rick Larson picking up for Rob White this season as head coach. This really begins his official stint as head coach of the Clarenceville Trojans tonight. So his team has got to be fired up for their new coach. Next week, college basketball on the game of the week. It'll be the Wayne State Tartars taking on the Pioneers of Oakland University. That's Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. 53-46 as we head into the fourth quarter now.
And it's pretty apparent that we're not going to see John Collage again. He got his shoe off. He's way at the far end of the bench. And I noticed him trying to walk a couple minutes ago, and
There's a shot.
It wasn't a nice thing to look at.
They've got that ankle bandaged up.
Yeah, that looks like a very serious sprain.
Well, they hope he gets back in the action soon. He's a great player for that team. Carpenter is hammered by Kalovic.
That's about all you can do when you get a guy that big underneath. And Carpenter in the first half showed some skill at the free throw line.
Yes, he did. Carpenter picked up 50%.
And he had the one make that
He had the one
go.
make that didn't count, yeah.
There you see him just get underneath, and it probably outweighs Kalovic by about 70 pounds.
There we see Collage, John Collage, who is out. Had a very strong first quarter. Carpenter misses, but look at this, loose ball. Thought that the Crusaders may have come up with that, but here come the Trojans back. 53-47 the score. Barnhart in there now for the Trojans, number 10. Kaljevic, nothing there, and a big miss.
Carpenter with the board.
Look at this. got McKinnon, who hasn't been shooting much, taking it right down to shoot. Harrison almost making that one, and a trip to the line. Almost had a three-point play there.
Well, again, something we saw right near the end of the third quarter. Harrison trying to create something and forces the contact, almost gets a three-point play out of it, but will get 2 shots at the line.
Harrison making. Harrison only 2 points in that third quarter, and they were both from the free throw line. And he gets them both.
He does it again, and he probably will try and create a little more. Hasn't had a field goal yet in the second half, but twice now he's tried to take it inside and draw on the fouls.
And they're getting back in the game. Trojans can't get it. Loose ball, they pick it up.
Got away with
a lot.
A blatant foul. Who was that? Matt Blom just threw a body block to get that ball.
A lot of people throwing body blocks out there. Back out to the open man. No. McKinnon couldn't get it. Here's Kaljevic. Kaljevic. Carpenter. Good hustle from behind. Barry couldn't get it to hit. Carpenter with a rebound. Carpenter pushes it up court to Harrison. No foul. Harrison tries to get it off his man. Loose ball, and finally the whistle goes.
It's getting real crazy. And what happened here?
We may see a technical foul here. I don't know what the call was, but let's take a look. Here's Carpenter.
All I know is you look at 23 over there. Look at this. First of all,
oh,
gee,
brutal sport. This is a collision sport.
Meantime, the cheering you hear, Harrison made the first of the 2 technical foul shots, and there the ball bounces off. See, and I don't know what the call was, though. Through all that mayhem, somebody got a technical foul, and Harrison got one of the 2 foul shots, but we were able to see Kaljevic really arguing with the officials after that, and I don't know if he got the technical or if the coach did. But whatever it was, it's a 3-point game now, and Northwest is going to have the ball.
So this gets them right back in the game. If McKinnon can hold on to it here, yes. They get it over the half-court line and now can set up. McKinnon being pressured there by Parks. Takes it himself. Nope, back out. Blom travels.
Yeah, he took about 3 steps trying to set up a possible 3-point opportunity, and he just didn't feel comfortable with it. I'll tell you, if either team could have avoided turnovers, somebody would have won by a blowout already.
Well, the Trojans have yet to score here in the fourth quarter. And again, they come up empty-handed. Here's Blom. Couldn't get it to go.
Felt the defensive pressure from behind and still almost got the shot in, but been a lot of almost tonight.
Trojans have not scored yet here in the fourth quarter. Looking for that first elusive one, and there's a foul to go to the line. Maybe they'll pick up some here.
Yeah, that was number 24, Kaljevic, taking it inside. And the foul that time, he was double-teamed. See, when they found the open seam to get the pass to him, drives by Storm, and I don't know if it was Storm who fouled him. That's either way, and they did call it on Storm. It could have gone on Hogger as well. Both guys got him.
Here's Kaljevic at the line. Misses. He's got 8 points on the night. And the Trojans still looking for their first point in the fourth quarter, and it won't come here. But there it is. Chris Smith follows up with 2. And it's a 5-point game, 55-50.
Well, Harrison once again looking to try to create something, and it wasn't
Harrison for 3, no. Rebound. And Blom comes up with a steal here.
There's just so much pushing going on away from the ball out here.
A whistle down there.
It's like...
It's on Kaljevic, 23, pushing Harrison, who was cutting through.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are,
Watch it.
You can't tell who's starting it and who's retaliating, but both teams are just killing each other away from the ball, and it's basically whichever infraction that the official sees is getting called.
Yeah, that was not in your picture, but it was off to the left of the screen, and there was some pushing going on in both teams, really.
And the official right now, you see down at the corner there talking with, I believe, Kaljevic, pardon. And that's the guy they talked to before that technical foul, and we still aren't sure who it was on, but it's, there's 5 minutes left, and it's a close game, and you just kind of hope nothing goes beyond this kind of stuff.
Harrison
Sure seems
has
like it could.
4 out of the 5 points scored by the Crusaders here in this quarter, and all 4 at the free throw line. Makes him switch. 55-52, 3-point game, and here come the Trojans again. 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. From outside, Kaljevic, no. Barry with the rebound. And a timeout called by the Trojans.
Good call there by Rick Larson. One thing I was starting to get the sense that Clarenceville was a little more flustered by all this stuff than Northwest was. They seemed to be a little more in composure.
Clarenceville 55 and Lutheran Northwest 52. Let's go down to Tim Lawhead.
Getting the ball at all, and you got to get a good shot on offense. Fast break, yes, but it's got to be open, wide open. Lastly, gentlemen, you're bigger than this. You hear me? Don't get involved in what's going on. You're not a part of it, and it's only going to cause you more problems. It's already caused them problems. Now rise above it, and you're out there to play basketball, Red. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Tim Lawhead getting his team ready for the final minutes here. And for the final minutes after this game, don't forget to tune in on Saturday. Coming up, the Road Show video program, and they're going out on the farm. Bubba and Pat heading out to the farm, and I know, Joe, this is one of your favorite ones.
Oh, gosh, it's...
Because I know how much you love farm animals. I don't know. I just try to think up something.
Respond to that.
4:30 left in the game. 3-point lead for the Trojans now.
You know what? Clarenceville is going to a stall for the next 4.5 minutes. Or...
Now they're just holding the ball.
I don't know what. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to keep the contact away now.
They throw it away. Almost.
Yeah,
yes, they do. Well, what can you do? You just have a tough time here in this fourth quarter if you're a Trojan from Clarenceville here. Here's Chris Smith throwing it, and just a little too far for Steve Parks.
It's lost its composure in the fourth quarter.
Lob for 3. No.
And again, Harrison got thrown through the key trying to box out for the rebound. And of course, we heard during the timeout, Lawhead saying, don't get involved in that stuff. But it's hard to tell a 16 or 17-year-old kid not to push back when a guy's thrown him to the ground.
Inside, Barry pushes it back out. They're just trying to kill the clock. I don't know why in a close game you'd want to do this.
3-point lead, I wouldn't.
It's not like you have a 10-point lead where you can kind of sit on it and let it dwindle.
And if Northwest, if they are going to, eventually, if they're going to be trailing, they're going to have to start fouling. They only have 14 fouls. They have to commit a couple to send them to the line, but I'll wait for the turnover instead.
Yeah, that's twice that's happened now. The Crusaders have to come up with something here, and they call a timeout. They want to make sure they get at least 2 out of this.
And, yeah, you don't want to be too critical of coaches and all that, but I don't understand going into a stall with this much time left.
Tim Lawhead called the timeout. Let's see what he has to say.
Man, you're going to be in a man-to-man if they get the ball back. First of all, I want you going at the bucket. I don't want any 3-point shots. All right? Got him in the corners. I I want this man, if the ball goes here and he goes one direction, I want the man behind to come and double. The man behind to come and double. And then this man wheel around. Not the man that can see him, the other man. Right? Now, everybody. Now listen. Purple, we may have to start doing it early because you've only got 4 fouls. Purple, and make sure the big, I don't play him white, just don't foul. Ready, here we go.
Next week, college basketball action as the Wayne State Tartars travel to Oakland University to take on the Pioneers Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. on TCI 63.
Well, you heard him, you know, you don't have to be a wizard to figure out what purple means in there. That's when you start fouling people, because he said we've only got 4 and we might have to do it earlier. And the last thing he said was foul anybody but Collage. And I don't think you have to worry about that since Collage isn't in the lineup.
Yeah. They got him out. Hogger inside, now back out. Harrison, double team now. Couldn't get it away, and Gus finally gets it off to Hogger. Hogger, nothing there. Harrison open baseline. No, rebound buried. And a foul from behind on Harrison.
Probably a foul that they wanted to commit there. Do it in the backcourt. Can't throw up a shot to get automatic free throws. And get you a little closer to the bonus if you do need to foul later in the game. And I'm guessing we're going to see Clarenceville, as you saw the rebound and the foul on the reaching. I'm guessing they're going to go back into that stall, but, well, I think maybe they'll run an offense now.
Now they're going to run their offense. It hasn't been effective here in the 4th quarter. Parks dishes up. They're in the corner in trouble. 2:26 left in the game. Carpenter coming in for size. Hogger goes out.
Yeah, this guy's made a difference every time he's been in the game tonight.
Ball knocked away by McKinnon. And the Trojans come up with it again. Back out, Kaljovic. 55-52 the score.
I think this is a stall.
Smith, yes it is. This time they're just moving the ball a little bit.
They're not looking for shots at all. And boy.
Kaljovic. Let's see what happened here. Foul on the defense. Looked like he might have went in with a shoulder, but let's see what happened here down the baseline.
Yeah, let's see. Uses the pick that time, then has to beat another guy. Now, I think he figures he can just take him one-on-one. And the officials, you know, there was contact. You have to call that foul. It was before the shot.
Kaljovic in and out. Ball goes out of bounds, and
off Barry.
Northwest gets it. Northwest now can pull to within 1 with a 2-pointer. I don't think they'll be going for the 3. Coming back in is Blom. No. They just want to get right back with the 2.
Might try to go inside to Carpenter. He's got the most potential to get a hoop and draw some contact.
They're having trouble just getting the ball around. Swarming defense by the Trojans right now. McKinnon will slow it down.
Now you're down to 1:35, and you do have to press a little bit here.
We do have the foul now, the push on Parks. Right there. With 1:33 left in the game. Let's take a look at the move McKinnon makes here, and Parks with the foul.
And this is going to put McKinnon at the line for 1-and-1. They called the foul
right there
prior to the shot.
McKinnon with 2 points on the night. He hasn't gone to the line yet. And this is his first trip. The miss by McKinnon, and the Trojans come up with it. A foul on Carpenter.
That's a good foul.
The foul goes to Kaljovic. He'll be going to the line. He missed his last 2 at the line.
Yeah, they're reaching
and there's
in.
The foul right there.
You know they're going to go into a stall, so you might as well get the free throws over with early. Give yourself as much time as you can. And yeah, when you can foul a guy who hasn't made a free throw yet, it's even better.
Yeah. Kaljovic 0 for 2 from the line, so it's a good foul. 1:30 left in the game. Or was it a good foul?
So he makes the first.
Makes it here. Well, neither team really lighting up the board here in this 4th quarter. That's only the 4th point for the Trojans here in the 4th quarter. 57-52, clock winding down on this one. Harrison trying to do something there, gets it out to Hager, loose ball, keeping it in is Carpenter, but no.
He didn't need to save it either. I think that went up, it was going out of bounds off a Clarenceville player.
Let's see if
that's hard to, from his standpoint, that's hard to tell. So you're going to see him try to hit the open man right there, and the ball bounces around off the Clarenceville foot.
It was off the foot of a Clarenceville player, but you never really know.
Right. You'd rather him hustle and dive than let it go and find out that it was off your own teammate.
Now, some confusion down on the court as we go to the line. A foul was called on the Crusaders, and going to the line is Steve Parks. Parks has 2 points on the night, and he has yet to go to the line, so this will be his first trip. And he hits.
Well, they're making the free throws when they have to.
And 3 of their 5 points here in this quarter have been from the line. That's just to show you what kind of a 4th quarter we've had here. And he makes them both. 59-52, and the Trojans slipping away ever so slowly.
And you might have to think about threes pretty soon.
Harrison, no, loose ball, and a foul.
43, Hager.
Yeah, they called it on Carpenter, but I think it was on Hager, who got his hand in there, and you can see it here.
First. You see Harrison trying to create something, trying to draw the contact, which he was successful at earlier. Right here, you see Hager hit him,
right there, hit him in the face.
Carpenter hit him after, and
well, Kalovic going to the line. 2 for 4 from the line. Hit his last 2. Misses this one. Rebound Barry, but no, knocked away by the Crusaders.
Now they have to score every trip down the floor.
Yeah. Try for 2 there by Blom. No, out of bounds, and the Crusaders get it back with 53 seconds.
And you probably can go for the threes now, too.
Yeah, now you can go for it.
Yeah.
Back then, you didn't want to. Too early. Here's Blom. 1 for 3. He hit one in the first quarter, now in the 4th. Crusaders need to foul.
They're going to get a 10-second call if they're not careful. Well, now they got a foul.
Now they got a foul. Loose ball. Oh, wow. I would call.
That's intentional.
I would take Carpenter out of the game right now.
That's intentional.
Carpenter is playing a football game out there. Watch this.
Yeah, that one he didn't have to do to that extent.
No.
Here's when they had an opportunity there to get the loose ball. Right now he comes over, tries to commit the foul, doesn't go for the ball.
It doesn't look as bad in slow motion as it did in fast motion.
Like he threw him. That's a lot of that's instinctive. You know you got to commit the foul, and there's not even a chance to make it look like you're going for the ball. But they do sit him down, and coach is talking to him on the bench.
Well, he said he didn't want to. Tim Lawhead didn't want to be involved in that kind of play. Well,
yeah, they were that time.
My insight was that I think Carpenter started it all as soon as he went out on the court the first time he went out there.
The thing is, it was his play that brought him back in the game in the first half.
Yeah.
And that kind of intimidation, that sort of stuff,
well,
it's
like you said, it's like the Lambert type of play, and that's what caused it.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem to be his role.
60-55, 5 points separates Tim Lawhead from the lead right now, or the tie. Let's go down to Tim Lawhead.
Listen, I want these guys shuffling. These guys are picking. You're looking for the 3. If you don't get the 3, dump it in on a roll. Now, you're in purple right away, but that means go for the ball. Somebody's got to cover Collage. If he's getting the ball out of bounds, that was you. You got to make sure that he does not, I repeat, he does not get the ball. Everybody else we foul. If you have no time to mess around, you got to foul right away. You come down, take a look, shuffle, get the ball out on the perimeter, and take it. And then get the boards.
No more timeouts. 2 possessions, so take the easy 2 if they give it back.
Let's go, Red.
Well, again, he's talking about Collage.
He hasn't played in the second half.
Collage hasn't been in the game.
Obviously, if he was in the game, you don't want to foul him, but that was their last time out. That was the most important thing we heard there, so they're going to have to get a rebound or if they do make it here, inbound it and get a fast three-pointer.
Here's Chris Smith. He's got 4 points so far tonight. 31 seconds left in the game. 60-55. And his first trip to the line. Off the mark. Here comes Blom. He's got the three-pointer. Now to Harrison. Harrison back to Blom. They're just swarming all over the outside perimeter on defense. Blom
Gotta get a
can't
shot off.
Nobody's getting a shot off. Nobody's open. Harrison finally for three. No.
Well, you had to shoot it. You're running out of time down to 11 seconds.
Got to set up an open man down there, and they just couldn't do it.
You don't want to force the shot, but at some point, somebody's got to take it with a hand in his face. And you see on the weak side,
McKinnon was open.
Wow.
They just couldn't get it over there.
Yeah, of course, the defense is swarming and they're doubling whoever has the ball there. And, actually Harrison at one time got the ball where he seemed to be open too, and the defense came so quickly that he backed off for a second. The second time they got it to him, he said, heck with it, I'm shooting it anyway, which, say somebody's got to do it.
Mark Berry hits.
And in all likelihood, well, he didn't even need to make these, but
yeah,
the game's pretty much iced.
Berry hits them both.
It's definitely iced.
And this one's pretty much over tonight. Harrison trying for the three, way outside, no. Rebound Smith, and he's fouled by McKinnon. So Chris Smith will go to the line again.
Yeah, there's I think a little bit of a dejected coach there.
The effort by Harrison from outside, just off the mark. Chris Smith with the rebound and hammered.
Yeah, here you've got to foul him. It's what you're taught to do, but with 5 seconds left, Clarenceville players aren't even going to try to rebound.
Yeah.
Actually, you might want him to miss on the second one. Well, miss here, doesn't matter.
Keeps the ball in. And that's it. As McKinnon takes the last shot, and just a little too short, and just short tonight.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Tim Lawhead looking on as his team goes down to a 62-55 defeat here tonight to Clarenceville. And really the coaching debut of Rick Larson as the two coaches shake hands there.
And Rick Larson comes out victorious in his debut, and I don't think I want to see the rematch. If these guys have to play again later in the year, probably won't be a real friendly game.
Well, I tell you what, we saw a pretty good football game here tonight.
Yeah. And, you can only wonder if maybe the coaches are talking about that as we look at them.
Well, they went at it pretty tough here tonight. The final score here at Lutheran Northwest High School as the Trojans and the Crusaders head off. 62-55. We'll be back with the stats, the final stats for you right after these messages, and tell you all the leading scores and good stuff like that right after this.
Move over, Old McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video. Saturday night at 9 on Channel 63.
Welcome back to Lutheran Northwest High School, where tonight the Crusaders had a tough time against the Trojans, a tough battle, 62-55. They came up on the short end of this one, Joe, but they made it interesting throughout the game. Let's take a look at the final stats here.
They had their chances, cut it to, well, actually tied it a couple times in the second half, and you see the shooting percentage was just terrible for Northwest, but they made up for it with the rebounding. And, free throws kind of evened out in the second half. Turnovers kind of had periods where there was just a ton of them in a row, then nothing, and then, it came right back, and both teams started turning it over again. very inconsistent play on the part of both teams, and it was basically Clarenceville's ability to make the free throws in the fourth quarter that iced the game for them.
And you have to remember John Collage going out in that second quarter, early in the second quarter. He had 12 points before he left the game, and you have to wonder if he played the whole game, if it would have even been that close.
Oh, yeah,
as if it ended up to
They
be.
weren't able to stop him at all, and it was just an injury that was able to stop him.
Here you take a look at the scoring by quarters, 24-18 after the first, and we saw a lot of scoring there. We thought it was going to be a great game, and then all of a sudden they slowed down a little bit in the second, the third a little bit, and then the fourth, both teams just came out cold, and neither one could buy a bucket.
Yeah, basically the opposite of what we saw last week, where Ferndale and Troy couldn't score in the first quarter, and then they went crazy for the rest of the game. This one, it's like both teams ran out of gas in the fourth quarter.
Okay, and some of our leading scorers for tonight's game. The Crusaders had Jeremy Harrison with 15 points, Justin Storm with 14, leading the way for them. On the other side, it was Mark Kaljevic scoring 16 for Clarenceville, and 13 for Mark Berry, their center, who towered over everybody and really got some easy buckets just by tossing it right up.
Yeah, he's 6'6". Nobody could really handle him except for Carpenter when he'd come in and out-physical him. The biggest contribution Barry made, though, was that when Collage got hurt, he came in and tried to pick up the slack as much as he could, and not only hitting shots himself, but he was pulling himself out, getting open layups for guys on a couple of occasions, made some free throws, and was a force in the paint as far as rebounding goes.
Okay, and don't forget to tune in next week. It'll be college basketball here on TCI 63 when the Wayne State Tartars take on the Oakland University Pioneers. And that'll be Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. So for our hardworking staff here at Lutheran Northwest High School and TCI, along with Joe Abramson, I'm Dave Zorin. Thanks for tuning in. The final score, Clarenceville Trojans 62, Lutheran Northwest 55. And we'll see you next week from Oakland University.